I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving into a terrific book. It is called Move to Create. We are always creating. Now we can create consciously. It's written by a terrific author. Her name is Julie Delene. This transformative guide teaches you how to consciously move energy and create the change you desire in life, work, and relationships. Join us as we explore Julie's powerful moves process designed to harmonize your mind, body, emotions, and spirit. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Bookside Press for helping us put her in the spotlight today. We ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Julie, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
My pleasure. Great having you on the show. What inspired you to create a book about creating?
Oh, goodness. It's been my life's work. I have been a consultant. I was a consultant early on at Arthur Andersen and was working in strategic planning and got involved with George Land, who did Leadership 2000. And he was teaching the creative process at that time by studying rocks. And I was absolutely struck by that process and facilitation. And I took it to the next steps and, further continued the holistic approach that I was looking for. Um, and what I was finding was, anytime we were doing strategic planning or helping people re-engineer, there was always a stuck mindset. Something was keeping them small. They weren't able to move forward together. And so it wasn't so much how many processes we changed or things we changed in the re-engineering mode. It was helping people expand their consciousness and
Mm.
see things differently. So that started me on this process. And one day I'm working with a door manufacturer. And as I said, I'm seeing that they just can't make the shift. People are just not making it. And I went to sleep and woke up the next morning and I woke up with this moves process. This was in 1993.
Great.
And it was these five, segmented processes that were helping people to awaken.
Mm.
And I, you know, I tried it out. I tried it out on this door manufacturer and it started to work like magic. And at the same time, I'm going through lots of personal transition. So I am having this experience where my daughter is 13 years old and I'm struggling a little bit with my personal life. And I thought, well, if I can change organizations, why don't I try this on myself? And I did. And I ended up having like my whole basement was filled with yellow stickies of my passion and my life and the things I wanted to do, what I was observing, what I was experiencing, and everything started to come alive from that time. So that
Wonderful.
motivated me.
Yeah.
Um, and there was there's a lot of moments as a consultant. I was working and seeing that the passion had died out of a larger organization and they were paying people just to be loyal, and it wasn't working. It was like, gosh, I don't want to end up there when I'm older. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was part of the motivation.
You've intrigued us about the moves process. Could you give us a little bit more of what it entails?
Yes. So there's five phases. And as I started to study it, and it kept informing me, it was like it was teaching me, and I tried to leave it alone and it would keep showing up in different ways. And what I found along the way was this Taoism or this five element approach to life, or this way of being harmonious and being in this universal whole, where things start to reveal themselves from these five elements. And so the energy started to show itself that there was this movement of nature that was inherent in everything we do and everything we manifest, everything we create, all the processes, all the projects. And then I started to ballroom dance. Well, it kicked me off on a lot of trajectories. One was Miracle of the Breath training, mindfulness training, and really getting to know that inside out approach. And then I learned ballroom dance and I excelled very quickly in it. And I was seeing that combination of leadership and teamwork and the synergy between the two and how it was demonstrated and played out on the dance floor. And the synergy happens there.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. How can readers apply the moves system to their daily lives?
Yeah, so it's pretty really basic and simple and the everyone knows it in different ways. I think the biggest thing about the moves process is it encapsulated the whole system. So it's not just one part because we'll go from well, let's assess where we're at. Let's be present to what's going on, accept where you're at, observe where you're at. A good consultant can walk in and observe things and see things from a wider picture, and they're not stuck in the minutia of what's going on. So
Mm.
being able to step back and observe and get present to what is a first step. The second step is simply to open. And that's not easy.
Yeah.
But opening our heart, opening our will, opening our minds,
Mhm.
that's what I say is the missing element often, is pausing to do that, to take time to open. Oh,
Tell us a little bit about your book. Let's give us an overview of what folks will find once they crack the covers.
yeah. So they will get a step-by-step process and processes to implement these five different phases, to experiencing it, to practice it in different ways. So it's
Mm.
very practical, straightforward, step-by-step process that integrates this whole system.
You find the principles that relate to work, personal relationships, familial relationships are all more or less the same in many ways?
Absolutely, because again, coming to the basics of what makes our existence here, our perceptions, our sensations, our mental formations, our consciousness, and the form that we connect with. Those are all part of the five elements or the five aggregates that we can experience in different ways, whether it's work, whether it's personal life, whether it's in. So what I did was I created a game now that has 30 different activities in each phase. And so people can play the game with each other to get clear together. What's my perceptions on things? What are my sensations? We can take a topic and dive really deep into the game.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I do agree that I think there's similarities in every relationship, whether it's professional or a family or even a love relationships. Certain things are key, trust, credibility, and so forth and so on. Tell me a little bit about the importance of conscious creation in today's fast-paced world.
Yeah, so one of the things that we can get judgmental about or fixed in our views are on the words of, oh, do I trust this person? Rather than understanding we're a movement of nature and that things are always going to be changing. And if we just allow ourselves to be in that more centered place, things will start to shift and change. Applying these can impact our relationships more. So being conscious is to know what element you're good at, what elements you need to strengthen, and how to then show up differently within relationships or teams or with work projects or with daily creating. Every day is a different creation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every
Absolutely.
moment is a different creation.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. You mentioned that you basically came up with this concept When your daughter was 13, you were going through some changes in your life. What advice would you have for someone who feels like they're not living their best life right now, that they are kind of stuck?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it's geared for,
Yeah.
is to really take that time to just pause, um, notice the bigger picture, get to that mindfulness of breath. The movement of our breath helps us to understand that we are a movement of nature. There's a play between the yin and the yang, and so when you get connected to just relaxing, being more centered, then we can start to see the movement. And this becomes a very natural process. This becomes a very natural movement. And I've had people tell me that all the time. You help me get back into the flow. You help me communicate better with others. You help me understand myself better. Where am I getting stuck? What's getting fixed?
Yeah.
So
Wonderful. What's next for you? Do you have another book plan? Do you have another project plan? Tell us a little bit about that.
So I created this game as a way to communicate better. And what I imagine doing is that I can start to teach others how to do this process, and then they can facilitate within their communities, within their schools, within their teams, and it gives people another tool to work with to help to connect and move as one.
Absolutely. And making it a game makes it fun, makes it enjoyable, makes it less like work. So I think that's terrific as well. The name of the book we've been talking about today is called Moved to Create. We are always creating. Now we can create consciously. It's written by Julie Delene. It is a transformative guide that teaches you how to consciously move energy and create the change you desire in life, work, and relationships, the three key areas of your life. Julie, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your time. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time. This time until next time on Spotlight.